Thank you. Next witness.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Ben Lopez with Traditional Values Coalition. I'll get right into the cut to the chase and to the point here, given the limited time. This bill, even though it is being portrayed as an anti-bullying bill, there were comments in the other chamber that this was an anti-bullying bill or a bill to address discrimination or those who unfortunately suffered at the hands of bullying, that if this would somehow combat that, but that's simply not the case. There are provisions of law that are in place that address discrimination on the characteristics already raised in this bill. Under AB 537 in 1999, Ed Code Section 220 says no person shall be subjected to discrimination on the basis of gender, sexual orientation, or any other characteristic listed in Penal Code 422.55. Another bill, AB 1785, enacted in 2000, stated the adopt policies directed toward creating a school environment in kindergarten and grades 1 through 12 that is free from discriminatory attitudes and practices and acts of hate violence. Yet again, under AB 1785, it says it is the intent of the legislature that public schools have access to supplemental materials that combat bias on the basis of gender and sexual orientation. You also have SB 777 that was signed into law, and then the argument was, the justification for the Harvey Milk bill at the time was we needed these bills to alleviate the discrimination that is so-called being pervaded in, that is running rampant in schools, and these bills would address the issue. These bills would fix the issue. I would argue that we let the current laws on the books run their course and address these issues instead of tacking on additional laws that really will have an impact and affect cost to the public. Irregardless whether or not we adopt these provisions and incorporate them into curriculum in the 2013 cycle or any other cycle, there will nonetheless be a special cost incurred to school districts. Is the state going to pay for them, or are the locals going to be forced to pay for these textbooks? Also, California and Texas are the #1 clients of the textbook industry in this country. We no doubt control a lot of the textbooks that are sold in the other 48 states. What is going to happen with respect to these textbooks? Is there to be a special edition created just for California that can't be shopped around in the other states because they don't contain these categories and sexual lifestyles? Again, that would no doubt incur a higher cost to the people of California. It was Abraham Lincoln that prophetically said that the philosophy of classroom today would be the philosophy of government tomorrow. And that is so true. If you look at the intent of this bill clearly changes the social content standard frameworks for instructional materials. We're talking male-female roles. We're talking ethnic and cultural groups. We're talking about even such things as being mentioned when you're talking about customs and lifestyles. Of one example in the content standards, when ethnic or cultural groups are portrayed, portrayals must depict differences in customs or lifestyles, they must not rather, as undesirable. If you include these categories into this part of the code, there's only one way you can present these lifestyles, and that is as desirable. This bill is blatant promotion at its best. With that, we are against the bill and we urge a no vote.
Thank you very much.